Hello, and welcome to the Key Stage 4 chemistry topic, Reduce, Reuse and Recycle. Before we get started, can you please make sure you have a pen, paper, pencil, ruler and a highlighter or another coloured pen and pencil for self-assessment. Can you also make sure you're in a nice quiet room, no distractions and no technology to distract you from this learning enhancement video. Okay, can you pause the video for 10 seconds and write down the learning objective to understand the importance of the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay, your trivial practice on the screen now. Can you please have a go at these 5 questions on the screen now? And I'm going to give you 5 minutes for this. So 5 minutes to have a go at the 5 questions just on here. Go. Okay, 5 minutes up there, guys. The answers will come up on the screen as quickly, so add them in and give any corrections that you need to, or tick them off and give yourselves a mark out of 5. So for the first one, what does finite mean? Well, finite simply means a limited amount of that specific resource available. Another way of saying that is being used at a faster rate that it can be replaced. Question 2, disadvantages of mining for metal ores. Pollution to the atmosphere surrounding land and water, loss of arable or usable land, destruction of habitats, harm to communities and miners' health, unstable and unsafe working environment. Question 3, what do we mean by the term reduce? Use less of material than is currently being used. 4, what do we mean by the term reuse? Use the same materials repeatedly instead of disposing immediately. And then what do we mean by the term recycle? So this is different because we're recovering materials already used and converting it into new products, such as recycling plastic bottles into plastic bags. So give yourself a mark out of 5 for that. Excellent if you got 5, 4, well done, 3 and below, let's just add in the corrections just there. Okay. So, learning outcomes for this learning session, I'm going to state some common materials that are made with finite raw materials. Remember, there's finite means there's only a limited amount of it available, and justify the importance of reducing, reusing, or recycling raw materials. Okay. So just a little thinking time. So if you're in school, please discuss this with your peers. If you're at home, just jot down a couple ideas. Why is it important that we reduce, reuse or recycle materials? Okay, hopefully you had a little discussion there about that, about why it's important to reduce, reuse or recycle. So a couple ideas I came up with was that reducing the need for extracting or mining or quarrying or logging, refining the process and processing raw materials, all of which create substantial air and water pollution. So overall, reduces pollution, saves energy, improves our air quality by reducing greenhouse gases, and also reducing the amount of harmful chemicals being left in the landfill. So a lot of plastic can seep into the ground and disrupt pipelines and water networks as well as other electrical outputs. So just want to add in anything there that you maybe not have, or anything else discuss with your peers that you may have already found out. On the screen now is some exam board guidance of why we need to know about reducing, reusing and recycling materials. So if you just want to pause this screencast recording just for 2 minutes and have a read through these. Okay. The first task I want you to do is we're going to be looking at these 4 products and what raw materials, these everyday common building materials and products that are used. We're going to look at the raw materials and then how it can be recycled, reduced or reused commonly. And this is a common industrial practice about what they do in everyday life, to be honest. So what I want to do, first and foremost, can you pause the recording now and copy in this table into your books or onto a piece of paper you're writing with. So should have got that down just there, should have got that table in. So what I want to do now that you've got the table into your books, what I want to do is write in from your own knowledge, discussing with the people in the classroom, write in what raw materials what each product has, and then how you think it can be recycled, reused, or even possibly reduced usage. With the example being for metal, so the raw materials is for metals, for all metals are metal ores that can be found underground, and then how it's recycled, makes new things from it, such as recycling metal from cars, reusing it, metal water bottles, so using it again and again and again, and reducing it using alternatives like plastic and wood. So what I'm going to do is have a go at the remaining products, adding in the first example here. I will give you 5 minutes for that. So pause the recording for 5 minutes and complete the rest of the table from your own knowledge. 5 minutes, go. Okay, 5 minutes up there now, guys. Can you please put down your pens and pick up a green pen or another coloured pen and pencil, and the answers will come up now. So answers come up now. For glass, clay, ceramics, and plastics, can you add in any incorrections or add in any marks that you have got? Give yourself a mark out of 10. So 1 mark for each correct raw material, and then another mark for each correct reduced, reused, and recycled. Can you pause the recording and add in any corrections now? Okay, so a common GCSE question is also to compare the differences between plastic bags and paper bags. So just like LCAs or life cycle assessments, reducing and recycling and particularly reusing plastic bags and paper bags is often a cause of debate amongst the chemistry community. In particular, how the raw materials compare against the disposal. So what I want to do is just have a look at the differences between the raw materials manufacturing, transport and disposal of how the synthesize and produce the plastic bags compared to the paper bags. So what I want to do is give yourself 4 or 5 minutes to read through these key points and jot down any key points really stand out, because this will help for the next progress check where we get some questions based on this information on the screen. So give yourself about 4 or 5 minutes to read through it and jot down any key points you think will be useful. Okay, so hopefully you've read through that, jot down a couple of key points. Now, using what we've just read, so a bit of checking on the progress that's been made. So what I want to do is answer these 5 questions, recalling any information, using a bit of memory techniques here as well, and answer the 5 questions on the screen here. I'll give you 7 minutes for that. So 7 minutes, go. Now, your 7 minutes up there, guys. Can you please make sure you put down your pens and pick up green pen or another coloured pen and pencil to peer assess this, or if you're at home, self-assess it. So if you're in school at the moment, please make sure you swap with the person next to you, and we'll go through this now. So the answers will come up now. Can you please give yourself a mark overall out of 5 just here? So go through it, add in any corrections you have. Excellent if you got 5 out of 5. Well done if you got 4. 3, good. 2 and below. Let's add in the corrections there. And moving on to the final task now, we're onto the plenary. So that recaps the differences between why we reuse and recycle plastic bags and paper bags. So to overview the topic today that we've recapped. Why is it important to reduce, reuse, or recycle goods? Which option is most beneficial and why? Can you answer these 2 questions in your books on a piece of paper? And I'll give you 4 minutes for that. 4 minutes, go. So your time is up there, guys. 4 minutes has finished. Once again, can you please make sure you got a green pen or another coloured pen and pencil to self-assess this time, just self-assess, and we'll go through these. So the first question, why is it important to reduce, reuse, or recycling goods? Well, so simply, it reduces the negative impacts of growing amounts of waste in the natural environment. It helps the environment, reduces pollution of greenhouse gases, and also hazardous materials that go into the ground. It conserves our natural resources as well, so it keeps our natural resources available. We don't use as much landfill space, there's more space for growth and for arable land for plants to grow. And obviously less energy is used, so there's more available for us in the long run for future generations. All of which has a significant impact on our environment. So reusing and recycling more will be more beneficial for our environment overall. And question 2, which option is the most beneficial? Why? Now, this is entirely your opinion, guys. So I went for this one, I went for reusing is the most important because it does not require large amounts of energy, unlike recycling does to make a new product. So if you're recycling cars from metal from cars into something new like water bottles or other materials like doors, it can often take a lot of energy, which requires more resources and can be more polluting. Whereas reusing items for its purpose means that step is missed, and also reduces the need for replacing the chosen items repeatedly. So that means you're just automatically reducing the need for buying new plastic bags if you're using a bag for life. So that's my opinion. If you put that reducing is most important or that recycling is most important, absolutely fine. Give yourself a mark as well if you've put a reason why as well. So give yourself a mark out of 2 for that, guys. Excellent. If you got 2, 1, just adding corrections there. And that concludes the video on reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you.